I'm Brittany.
I'm Nicole.
And we're those girls. Welcome to episode 25 of our podcast. Today we are hanging out. I can't believe it's been 25 episodes.
Should we just celebrate every 5?
Something.
Because we were celebrating at 20.
Right. And it keeps getting more amazing and more amazing that this is like
a continued thing.
Yeah. And Al puts up with us.
It's wild.
For 25 weeks.
It's a lot.
So we've had a lot going on this week.
Summer's busy.
Summer is super busy.
This is typical, if people don't know, in our business. This is the time of year we hope to be the busiest. Because if we're not busy now, God knows November will be crickets.
Well, November's crickets anyway.
But
yeah, I feel like we've been busier than normal.
Oh, hell yeah.
Which is amazing. And we're super, super grateful for it. But I'm tired.
I know. I keep going through this, someone told me instead of every time you're stressed or exhausted in your brain, practicing gratitude instead of, I've been trying to do that, but it's really hard.
It's really hard. Well, so your brain, and I've done a lot of research on this, your brain can't discern the difference between what is real and what isn't. So if you tell your brain or you tell yourself something and you're like, I feel one way, whether it's a positive or a negative, your brain turns it into concrete. So instead of hey, I'm super tired and life sucks right now. Hey, I'm really grateful I have business.
Yeah.
And this time is going to pass. Your brain rewires itself.
Yeah. And I keep telling myself that. That's just a very short.
It's so hard.
It's a hardcore 8 to 12 weeks of this. And then it's what do we do?
Right. Well, no, I mean, it's just
no, you just switch gears into more marketing and outreach and stuff like that. But it's been busy.
It's been busy. And I think that for me on the sales side of it, when we are dealing with these peaks that we're at right now, we see a lot of interesting people come through the woodwork. And so we have that listing that we're having the open house on tonight, and it's going to be really busy. We've priced it really great. We already have offers in hand and we're super grateful for it. But walking into podcast today, got a text from an agent, and there is no septic. And in the state of Massachusetts, you have to either be on town sewer or you have to have a septic system. Many, many moons ago, they had a cesspool, and cesspools were basically just big pits out in the backyard where
which is absolutely disgusting.
Where all the stuff
So does that mean there's 50 years of bathroom in the backyard?
Well, the home was built in the 20s. So the cesspool was there. They built that cesspool when they built the house, and it's literally just a pit in the ground.
Is it lined?
No.
So it just seeps into earth?
Yeah, it just seeps in. And that's why they're illegal, or you can't have them anymore.
It's a landfill.
It's a landfill in your backyard. And depending on the rain that people get and things like that, it literally can fill up the backyard.
Okay.
It's a whole thing to it. So you can't have it. And so if you transfer title or you sell a house, it's grandfathered in while you own it.
Correct.
And then at some point, and I don't know when that happened, at some point the state was like, yeah, no, we don't want shit backing up in people's yards anymore randomly. You now need to either tie into town sewer or put the tanks in and
fix
stuff
your
like that. So literally fix your shit. So
stupid. Get your shit together.
Right.
I will not say that to the homeowners tonight.
She would love it. She's amazing. So I get this text, and unfortunately, my seller doesn't really have the capability to put a septic system in prior to, and that happens. And so we've advertised that it's buyer's responsibility, and we've priced the home for that. And so I got a text coming in, and the agent's like, I'm sending my buyers to the open house. Hey, other agent, super glad you've got other plans, and great, glad your buyers are going to come. She's like, can you explain if there's any information on the septic system? And I'm like, well, there is no septic system. There is a cesspool. And she's like, well, how do you know it's failed? Because in real estate school, we learn that you can't have a cesspool in the state of Massachusetts. So it really brings out kind of the woodwork of all different types of agents. So I feel like our job, even though we're busy with all of the stuff that we're doing, that's our normal day job, we have to add in all of these different things of trying to not only qualify buyers and make sure that we're talking to loan officers and we're
Right.
like, hey, did you really pre-approve these? Well, now I'm qualifying agents and making sure that they're going to be able to get us from point A to point
Right.
B, which is like super more tiring than anything else we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I don't know how you see it with agents.
So I've been taught, and I feel like this is the way it should be, like, you have your expertise and I have mine, and it can be stressful and exhausting, but I actually love and relish a moment, and I don't say this in an arrogant way, but, like, I get to, like, school somebody and, like, have the information and be the educator because it also, like, forms trust.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you something that you don't know about as the agent and then it works and the deal closes and it's some new information that now you in turn have,
Right.
it's like we all did our job a little bit better and it forms like a bond and a trust between me and the agent, which is what you want to do more business. So
Right.
like I have a 203K going right now. It's my first one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting along, going through it, but like I look at it as like a learning opportunity, and a lot of LOs like in the past, like I asked to get taught about it. And they said, no, you don't want to do that. It's too shitty. It's too crazy. Just don't do them. And in my mind, I want all the products, even if they suck or they're hard or they're long,
Right.
because that opens me up to make more money and help more people and, open my network up. So I'm excited to learn about it.
I feel like for my side of the industry, even though it changes and we're always ebbing and we're always flowing, I feel like I learn more from loan officers because your stuff changes daily.
Okay. Like people, the only things that don't change are like, and they even change sometimes, 3% or 3.5% down, FHA or conventional. That's pretty much the standard. But like, even within those guidelines change constantly.
Yeah.
And you don't even know that they changed. And then you run into, you're trying to get your system approved and you're like, why isn't this getting approved? All my T's are crossed. And
yeah.
Oh, this thing changed. Now you can't do it this way.
Right.
So it happens. It's constant.
So, when I first got in the business, it was 5% down for conventional.
Mm-hmm.
That was the minimum. And then if you were FHA, you could go 3.5%.
Yep.
And I don't know when they changed conventional to 3%. I don't know.
It still sometimes even goes back. Sometimes they still go back to 5%. Even I think it's a
Really?
It just changes all the time because they base it changed on what the market's doing, how many people are buying. Are we, is it unrealistic for people to come up with 5%? So we need to come up with a way for more people to be able to buy. We have to put parameters on it so it's not for everybody.
So now I'm confused again because it took me so long to get into my brain that like conventional could go 3%.
Some people still think you have to put 10% or 20% down. And that's a myth. It's not real.
That's a myth, yes. Yeah. And I've known that.
Unless it's investment, but that's a whole different thing.
But then it's 25% and it's this and that. Yeah. And, but like the FHA guideline that came out this year about the 100-mile limit.
Oh my God.
I've had that conversation with more people. And like I was in a Facebook group the other day, someone was asking like, oh, how does FHA work? And there were a lot of really nice, educated individuals in the real estate industry and not that were giving advice. And so I like to Facebook creep and just read all the comments. Yeah. Like that's my thing. And sometimes I learn things and sometimes I shake my head. But 9 times out of 10, everyone was pretty spot on of what FHA was, except that 100. So
I'll explain it a little bit. So FHA, normally, we'll make this quick because I know people are probably bored with this, but investment properties, you have to put 25% down for conventional. Right. FHA's rules is 3.5% if the owner is going to live in the property.
Right.
So what was happening was people were scooping up properties, living in them for 6 months, selling them, and only putting 3.5% down. But that creates a lot of foreclosures because somebody is more likely to default on their primary. I mean, someone is more likely to default on their investment property than their primary residence. So last year, when the market went nuts and people were making crazy offers and getting all these properties, they were doing that. But then we have so many more foreclosures, which hurts. So they changed the rule that you cannot, if you are living in a property, it is your primary residence, and you say, hey, I'm going to move out and buy this second property and move into the second property. So I only have to put 3.5% down and turn my original one into an investment property. So they're getting rental income. The residences cannot be within 100 miles of each other, because people were just buying houses.
We would have to move out of New England.
Correct. So it really just stops people
right
from beating the system.
Right.
Which I do understand why.
100%
Yeah.
understand it.
I mean, it sucks for us, but
However, like, I can barely keep up with what's going on. So being able to rely on you is great.
Yeah.
And other LOs that are educated and take that time. But it takes all kinds to make this world go round. And every day I'm reminded of that.
Yeah, 100%. And we just learn from each other because, like, I don't understand what you guys do. I said on the last podcast, I've had so many deals that people are trying to forego the agent because they don't want to pay them.
Yeah.
And they are my living nightmare because I am not a real estate agent. I don't know what you guys do, but now the responsibility of that part's on me.
I'm sitting at home going, wow, I'm enjoying my Wednesday night as you're, crawling
telling
up the
people
walls.
to get smoke starts.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a video, Al. Are you ready for that?
We have a video.
We're going to switch to something more fun.
We
really did a great job on our businesses.
We did.
We don't do that all the time.
I know. We don't.
Great job.
So you and I have been on this TikTok, Instagram. We watch all these videos, and for some reason, you and I know we've had one video on before, but for some reason, you and I are infatuated with these people that decide that they can buy big products and then try to get them home on either scooters or motorcycles or.
So truthfully, we were sitting last night, just hey, what are we going to talk about on the podcast? And I go, do we have any more videos? Like, I said, oh, how's our dude with the TV doing?
How's our dude?
Dude with the bags.
With the bags.
And I was like, oh, does he have his own TikTok page? And you go, no, but there's this whole genre.
So I watched this guy, before we go to the video, I watched this guy build an entire, and Al will love this because he's a motorcycle guy, build this entire platform and carried home a 65-inch television set
on the back of his tiny
motorcycle. And it's too long a video to show here, but we got down a rabbit hole of watching all these people try to take the TVs home. And
we have so many questions.
This one caught my eye because this was a TV taking home fail. So it took me a while to figure out what it was. So
all right, we'll just go to it because then we'll just
go.
We have lots of comments.
Like, I like the ingenuity of trying to get it home.
No.
Someone's holding it. But
can you imagine being this dude's girl and he's like, yo, guess what we're gonna do today? You're gonna sit on the back of my motorcycle. I'm gonna stick a TV in between us, and you're gonna hold it, arms wide open.
Well, like
the whole way.
Or did they just go to the store for something else, like to window shop, and then they were like, hey, let's buy this TV and let's figure out how to get it home. But I want to know, I want to know how tall it is. What
IKEA or something?
Must be.
What is the point of that little thing that's above them? What is the bar?
It's like a, I don't know.
Why don't they just go around?
Right. But like, you didn't see the bar?
The fucking lady. Did she fall off?
Wait, no, like he like bends down. She like bends down. And like, he's like, oh, are you okay? Like doesn't even.
And then they probably had a fight about the broken TV when they got home.
I can't fathom going to the store and because like
he's not even on a motorcycle. He's on like a dirt bike.
Yeah, like that's like a Yamaha like C100 like that the kids had when they were like 12. But like, can't fathom going to the store. Any store, not even just these people who don't know how to read signs above their heads. And like, hey, let's buy an expensive TV. Let's not protect it in any way. And let's drive it home. And like, does the warranty that they tried to sell you at the store, does that work for this?
But why didn't they just like order it on bestbuy.com and it gets delivered?
Right.
Why didn't they pay for the delivery?
Right. Because now they have to buy a whole new TV.
And their relationship's probably in shambles.
Oh no, the relationship was probably in shambles. I guess he was like, "Honey, you're gonna hold the TV on the back."
The alternative is she's like super ride or die because like if my guy tells me to do that, I'm gonna tell him to fuck off.
Right?
There's no way I'm doing that.
It's not happening.
You're dumb, and we're gonna find a more efficient. Like I said, why didn't you just take an Uber?
Right?
Yeah. You could fit a TV in an Uber.
Yeah,
they wouldn't say no.
Depends on the Uber. Do you get the XL? Do you pay for the XL? Do you pay
it's
for
better than that? Like all of the alternatives are better than what just happened. And how far was she going to drive? She was a tiny lady with like her arms around this TV.
I don't know. Was it just around the corner? Like, there's so many questions. I feel like we should have these people on. We should find them and have them on and ask the questions.
I mean, I want the guy with the bags. We love him.
On the scooter. Yes.
The scooter.
We should find him.
Yes.
We should find him. So that was our fun of TikTok. We need to do more of those. But I have a fun when an architect and a real estate agent buy a house.
Buy a lemonade stand.
Buy a lemonade stand. So everyone knows we bought our house last September. It's been like 9 months.
That's a long time.
Like, we're almost at a year for it. And we've gone through, the heating system was junk. We had termites.
They're now in the pool.
I don't know.
I've never seen termites in a pool.
They might be flying ants, but I'm still calling them termites. And we have a service now, so like we don't have active.
No.
Like,
it's just,
we have a like
it's summer bugs in the pool.
Bugs
But
in the pool.
it's funny that they look like termites.
And then we had powder post beetles, and we've had bunnies. The amount of bunnies that are in this
I don't
yard.
know why you're so upset about this.
I have a garden. Have you seen
your garden
Peter
is
Rabbit?
flourishing?
Have you seen Peter Rabbit?
Yeah, I saw the babies.
There were squirrels fornicating in my backyard yesterday morning, full on fornicating, and I had.
What are you? This is what you want when you have a house.
When my 7-year-old's like, "What are they doing?"
She's old enough.
I'm like, great.
Let's do this.
And I had turkeys.
Okay, can we talk about the turkeys? Because I've never seen them, and this year they're
everywhere,
and they're also like giant.
The bigger thing is, I think it's not about the animals that are in my yard. It's that we live in a downtown suburbia.
Yeah, so they have nowhere to go.
Literally, my neighbor's front yard, his Ring doorbell sits eye level with our pool. Like, that's how close I live to people, and I have more nature than I did on my 3-acre property.
Did not know that.
Oh, yes. He sees us every time we're in the pool.
So that's a lot. Good to know. Number 2, why are you just telling me this? How do you know that?
Oh, I'll show you. I have a picture
of his Ring doorbell.
It's his front door is even with the pool.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
his house is like situated sideways.
I already said I felt bad for your neighbors because there's no fence
on both sides. It is like the people are. Yeah.
So we'll preface this with it's me and you doing what we're doing right now, but laying on pool rafts, just being super loud. Like no fucks.
So
I swore a lot on this one.
So in the house, we have our electrical is updated. We live in New England, so there's different types of electrical. It's not like if you live in the South, everything's wired all pretty.
Yeah.
So there's many different types of things. So our house is upgraded electrical, but we still have outlets like in the baseboard. And so originally at some point there was knob and tube, which is you don't want now. So we have to have the adapters so we can plug in like our laptops and stuff from 2-prong to 3-prong. Well, on the bay window side of my house, and I had a picture I could have showed out, we could put it up, we could add a conversation. So there is a 3-prong outlet, and it is the most amazing thing. And for some reason, I've tried for the past 9 months to plug in an outlet to it and just haven't. And it's just been frustrating and whatever. So last week went to Lowe's and I was like, I'm buying a fucking extension cord and I'm gonna make this work. And so I did, and I'm still trying to plug it into the thing. And now I'm like super frustrated, don't understand what's happening.
Is this user error?
That's what I keep thinking. Like, and there, I am a blonde.
No, you're pretty
but
you're pretty self-sufficient.
I'm pretty self-sufficient.
You guys know house things.
So like, this is like really irritating me. So I have this full.
Why isn't Mark got involved?
I have this whole thing with him in the living room, and I'm like, I need you to figure this out. He's like, well, what's happening? So finally, I just ripped the extension cord out of because I plugged it into another place, and I'm like, fix it. So he gets down. Now it's on the baseboard. So it's not like he's bending and he's like, got to get down on the floor. And he's
Mark's 6'5", everyone.
And he's trying to plug it in. And Scarlett is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And he gets up and he goes, it's a fake wall plate. The sellers.
It's a 3-prong on a 2-prong wall plate.
No.
The wall plate's 3 and the plug's 2.
There's no plug behind it. They like found a fake 3-prong wall plate.
Why?
Why is the question?
Why? I can't think of one reason you would do that.
Like, you can't.
Do you have a reason, Al? Please do tell.
No, I don't. I just think it's great that you spent all that time.
9 months. I've been
this
trying
house,
to plug
this house just
damn
continues to mess with her every day.
Like, really? Like a fake? Like, what do you have to go through?
You should call the home inspector.
If you don't know, this was the one house that Mark wanted to home inspect.
Everybody, yeah, Brittany's husband he did a great job. It's just the house is what it is.
He's gonna love this because he's one of our listeners, and so I am now going to share
one of our 5 listeners. It's Mark.
He listens faithfully.
God love him.
I will share this. Getting ready for the home inspection, I had somewhere else to be. I think I had a different home inspection to go to. So I didn't get to go. And so he had asked me if they make electrical outlet plugs that you can plug in and see if the electrical outlets are live. It tests them, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find it.
I remember this.
And so I brought him some weird stick thing. And I was like, oh no, this will work. And he was like, I don't need that. So had I had brought him the right tool, he could have done his job.
Because he would have been testing the outlets, and so he didn't get to test the fake outlet.
Technically, the fake outlet not working is really my fault because I did not equip him with what he requested for the home inspection. So I will take the blame. But I've spent 9 months trying to plug something into this wall that doesn't exist. And if you know my tenacity to get something accomplished, you know I have been cursing this house up and down for this stupid ass wall outlet. So that was my weekly. The bunnies have moved from the front yard. I don't know where they went.
Glad you didn't kill them.
No, I didn't kill them.
Okay.
Not yet. Something eats my garden though, and it's all on.
Your garden's fine. So what else is going on? What do we got coming up?
We get open houses this weekend.
Congrats to Britt. Double listings, double open houses this week.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
That's big.
Hopefully they sell. Hopefully they sell. That's the goal. And then we have camping coming up.
I'm going to Martha's Vineyard.
Oh yeah, you are. I've never been to Martha's Vineyard.
So you know my friend Bethany?
Yes.
She grew up there.
Yes.
I can actually tell a funny story about her. She won't care. And then we'll be done. So we went to college together.
Yep.
She's from Martha's Vineyard. We went to college in Quincy. This is the first time she had ever lived off of the island. She grew up there her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So me and her played soccer. We went to college in Quincy, and you go early, so no one else is there. So you're just with the team. So like you become friends quickly. Me and her became friends immediately. Like this is like the second day we're there.
Yep.
She's like, "Hey, you want to go to Walmart?" I'm like, "Sure." She's like, "I have my car." She was excited because it's the first time she'd ever drove her car off of the island also.
Okay.
So her parents shipped her car over for college, blah, blah. She's
That's
like,
super
okay, I'll
cool.
drive. Yes. So she was excited about that. We get in the car together, and we're in Quincy going to the Quincy Walmart.
And Quincy's very big.
Quincy's very busy.
Very busy.
And we're driving along, chit-chatting. And all of a sudden there's a light before Walmart.
Yep.
And you have to go left into it.
Yes.
She stopped for 1 second and then just starts going left. And there's traffic.
Like, she doesn't have a green light?
I'm screaming. And she's like, what is wrong? I'm like, you can't go left on red. You cannot go left on red. Why are you going left on red? We are going to die. She goes, oh, I thought it was just like a stop sign. Because they didn't have a traffic light on Martha's Vineyard at that time. So in order to get your license, you did not have to operate a vehicle like everybody else that does not live on an island that has no traffic lights. So yeah, we had to train her a little bit on traffic lights.
So many questions on that. Because I feel like that is like Al just told us he got an international driver's license, which I think is super, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's traffic lights worldwide.
There's none.
Just because
there's one traffic light on Martha's Vineyard now, and it got installed after she moved off.
And we're not old. This isn't like
just so everybody knows.
We're not talking like
contrary to how much I talk about cats.
Although I did not have to learn how to parallel park to get my driver's license.
Florida?
Yeah.
Virginia?
Florida.
Is that like not a thing there?
It's not a thing.
It's a big thing here.
Yeah, and so I don't parallel very
important.
Last
thing.
night when you and I were in the city and you parallel parked, I was like, "This is amazing. You have such a tiny little car." I don't have much of a bigger car than you do.
Everyone, so I have a Ford EcoSport. It's a little mini SUV, and everyone says it has no boobs and no butt because it's just like
no, it's a
a
matchbox.
short. Or my other friend, we call it the roller skate.
Yeah, it's a
it
roller
looks like
skate.
a roller skate.
It looks like a roller skate. Yep. So
that's it.
All right, let's go sell some houses and write some loans.
Everyone wish us luck on our open house.
Yes. We will see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.